Welcome back, everybody, to Tracy Vickers Field here in Chapmanville, West Virginia. Chris Kidd with you, with Robbie Mounts, our engineer, Butch Mounts, the executive producer of Video Productions, helping you bring live coverage of the District 2 11 and 12-year-old Little League Tournament, as we are down to the final 3 teams remaining now, with 1 spot remaining, as Logan has already advanced to the state tournament with a 3-2 win over Chapmanville on the 4th of July on Monday. Unfortunately, we had a rainout yesterday due to the inclement weather. We're trying to beat it here today. Again, more weather moving into the area after 7 o'clock, so we are in a bit of a race against time to try and get this tournament done and get this game in. So the Chapmanville Little League area decided to move this game up to 5:30 in hopes of trying to get this finished a little bit sooner. And we were informed as well, if the weather does kick in and this game is 4 innings deep, and one team is ahead, then that would be declared the winner at that point. So we've got a lot of things in play here today for these 2 clubs, as Mullens and Madison getting set to do battle for the 2nd time in this tournament. They met on Friday night last week in the first game of this tournament, with Mullens winning 7-4 over Madison. Madison able to come back and get a win the other day, as the first pitch in for a strike from Braxton Knuckles to Alex Denton were underway, as Madison was able to knock off Man in order to move on to this round 15-2. Mullens was able to escape Sandy River 9-8, and probably the game of the tournament thus far. Sandy River loaded the bases, and it cut the lead to 1 with 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th, and a ground out to second allowed Mullens to move on. Mullens' only loss in this tournament came against Chapmanville, as Dent lifts one high in the air to shallow left field, and that's going to fall in for a hit. So Dent, who's been strong throughout this tournament, against Man, he had a triple, a single, and a ground out to third. Or excuse me, I was against Mullens the first time around. Against Man, he popped out to the catcher, had an RBI single and a strikeout, so he gets started here with a base hit. Now the batter will be Nolan Williamson. Williamson, shortstop today for the Madison All-Stars, takes a ball 1-0. Against Mullens, Williamson had an RBI ground out to second, a ground out to third, and a single on the infield. As this one lifted in the air to right center field, sinking fast again, and that'll be another looping hit for Madison. As they throw back in, as Dent took a turn for third, but able to get back to the bag safely, and the first 2 men on here with a pair of singles. Now you get Asher Aldridge, the opposing pitcher, against Mullens. He had a fly out to center field, a ground out to the pitcher, and a single into center field. Against Man, he had a pair of doubles and a single. Was 3 for 3 in that game with 2 RBIs as he fouls the first pitch back into the screen, 0-1. As the defense for Mullens, you have Hill in left field, Bailey in center field, Isaac Shrewsbury in right field, Riker Shrewsbury at third base, Chapman at shortstop, McKinney at second, Van Dunk at first, Wood behind home plate as that one skips in the dirt, heads up base running by Williamson and Dent as they both move up. And that'll put runners in scoring position at second and third with nobody out here in the top of the first. Braxton Knuckles on the mound for Mullens in a jam here in the top of the first as he jams Aldridge. Wood giving chase to it, and he'll make a basket catch up the first baseline for out number 1. So a big out there for the Mullens All-Stars, as Aldridge has been dangerous this entire tournament. Now that'll bring up Nathan Wagner. Wagner against Mullens was 0 for 3. He flew out to center field, grounded out to third, and struck out, but then bounced back with a pair of RBI doubles against Man, along with a walk in that game. Also threw a good game on the hill, as that one was fastball on the inside corner for a strike, 0-1. So Knuckles checks with the dugout, and now comes ready with his second offering to Wagner. That fastball misses. Knuckles thought he had a strike, but instead count evens up at 1-1. That one right down the pipe. 1-2 now the count. Knuckles trying to find his first strikeout of the game here after a pair of hits to lead off this inning. Comes back inside and misses, 2-2. This one's going to miss a little low and away, and now the count's worked full by Wagner. Here comes a big pitch early in this contest. 3-2 to Wagner with runners at second and third. Swing and a miss, strike 3. And Knuckles battling back after second and third and nobody out. Gets a pop out to the catcher, gets a strikeout of Wagner. Now he'll deal with Gunnar Ashbury. Ashbury was 1 for 3 against Mullens. He popped out to second base, doubled to left field, and then grounded out to third. So he'll take a fastball high, 1-0. Against Mann, he was 2 of 2, had an RBI single, a walk, and a single on the infield. That one's going to skip low in the dirt. Nice stop by Wood that time. Dent was ready to charge home if that ball got away, and that's something that Mullens definitely has to be wary of because of the speed of Dent over at third base. Anything gets away, he'll likely try and make a break for it. This one's going to be chopped out towards second. McKinney charges on it, and it gets through, and that's going to allow 2 runs to score as Williamson rounds third and comes home, and Madison takes an early 2-0 lead. Mullens was almost out of the inning there, but instead it'll now be a 2-0 lead for Madison, as Mullens was able to jump on Madison early on Friday. And now Madison doing the same here to Mullens in this elimination game. Again, loser season's over. The winner of this game moves on to the finals of the losers bracket to face Chapmanville for the last spot in the state tournament. First pitch swung on a miss by Hayden Ferguson, 0-1. Ferguson was 0 for 1 with a strikeout against Mullens on Friday. Swing and a miss, 0-2 quickly. Knuckles 1 strike away from ending the first inning, and Ferguson spoils it off to the right. Again, Logan is already through to the state tournament after beating Chapmanville on Monday in that pitcher's duel. But Chapmanville gets another chance against the winner of this contest. That one foul tipped into the glove of Wood, and he'll be able to snag it for the third out of the inning. But Madison, with a pair of hits, able to get on top early, 2-0 as we go to the bottom of the first inning. We'll be back after this break as you are watching live streaming coverage of District 2 Little League Baseball presented by Boone Memorial Hospital and powered by HD Media.
Hi, I'm Casey Legg, and I'm from Charleston, West Virginia. And when I'm back home in Charleston, you will find me at my local Parmar store.
We had that golden boot pride at Parmar. There are literally hundreds of Parmar stores in West Virginia, Kentucky, Ohio, and Pennsylvania, and even more on the way. Download the Parmar app to save even more. And whether it's food, gas, groceries, or whatever, we have you covered at Parmar. West Virginia proud and ready to serve you.
If there's not a Parmar store near you now, there will be soon.
What started as a vision to bring quality health care to the coal fields of southern West Virginia has grown to become so much more. With a 5-star patient experience rating 2 years running, our family of local employees, medical staff, leaders, and governing board are working hard to deliver compassionate care, respect for others, and excellence in all that we undertake. We are now Boone Memorial Health, and for you and your family, we are bringing medicine home.
Bottom of the first inning, we move here in Chapmanville, West Virginia, with the Madison All-Stars leading the Mullens All-Stars 2-0. Chris Kidd here with you. Butch Mounts, our engineer here for today's game, along with Robbie Mounts. Robbie back after doing some work out in the field, and Butch Mounts is going to have to figure out how to get off this platform. He threw his phone at me, folks, early on in this contest. It was ridiculous. Butch, I was coming up the steps here to the press box. Butch tripped coming off of the little stand we have here, and all of a sudden here came a phone flying at me. He said, "You're lucky it wasn't my whole body coming at you on that one." So thankfully, Butch is agile and fleet of foot in order to save himself from both of us tumbling down the steps earlier. But Glad to have the godfather of video productions in the house with us here today. As it'll be Aldridge on the mound for Madison here today as the defense for the Madison All-Stars. You have Sheets in left field, Chafin in center field, Ferguson in right field, Ashbury at third base, Williamson at shortstop, Linville at second base today as he had been catching the first few games but now going to move over to second, Wagner at first, Aldridge, as we mentioned, on the mound, and Dent behind home plate today for the Madison All-Stars. As it'll be Henry Van Dunk, the first baseman, to lead things off. As Van Dunk had a walk, a pair of singles, and another walk in the game against Madison on Friday. His first pitch misses outside to him, 1-0. Against, against Sandy River, he flew out to center field twice and had a pair of singles. That will miss outside as well, 2-0. Against Chapmanville, Van Dunk reached on an error, had an RBI single, another single to left field, and struck out. So he's been very proficient in this tournament thus far, been one of the leading hitters out of all 6 teams that have been here. There's a strike from Aldridge, 2-1. Again, the wind continuing to pick up here, like we said, with inclement weather starting to roll in. May start to see it get a little windier as we move along here tonight, as that one slap fouled on the third base side by Van Dunk, 2-2. And the system that we're kind of looking at appears that it's going to arrive a little after 7 o'clock. So that's going to put us right in the crosshairs of being able to get this in or not. But as we mentioned, they said if they had gotten through 4 innings and the weather hits and the team is ahead, then that would be the winner of this game. That would be an official ball game. Aldridge is 2-2, misses a little low, and now the count runs full. Here comes the payoff pitch. Swung on a miss by Van Dunk, strike 3. Now the batter will be Braxton Knuckles. Knuckles was 1 for 3 against Madison last Friday. Struck out twice, had a walk and a 2 RBI single. As Aldridge ready with his first offering. Swung on a miss by Knuckles, 0-1. Against Sandy River, Knuckles was 1 for 4 with a single, an RBI hit into a fielder's choice, lined out and grounded out. So this one hit back up the middle. Tough play. Nice stop by Linville over at second. Throws to first in time. What a play by Linville as he threw him out from his seat on a sharp hit ball by Knuckles for the second out of the inning. Well, we've seen some great defensive plays here over the last week, and that one ranks right up there with the rest of them, as here our Thornhill Auto Group instant replay. There you see Williamson ranging over, great stop. Knew he didn't have time to get up, so he just had to turn and fire from his hindquarters that time and was still able to get the speedy Knuckles. That'll bring up James Wood. And you can see those catcher skills coming into play as well there. Nice backhanded stab by Linville in order to get that down. Wood was 1 for 2 against Madison with a single and a strikeout and a walk. We've talked about that big wooden bat that he has as well in this tournament. Against Sandy River, he struck out, reached on an error, and had an RBI double in that game. Against Chapmanville, walked, had a solo home run, a 2 RBI double, and a strikeout in that contest. That home run he hit was a massive shot. That one comes inside and misses. 3-0 now the count to the Mullens catcher. So he hit a big double that tied the game against Sandy River in the top of the 6th inning when Mullens was just 2 outs away from an elimination the other day. And now it looks like they're just going to, it may have been a balk on Aldridge that time, or an intentional walk given. But either way, Wood will move on over to first base now. But then Wood scored the go-ahead run on a passed ball later on that inning against Sandy River. As Ryder Chapman stands in, his first pitch fouls back into the screen, 0-1. As Chapman was 1 for 3 against Madison on Friday, struck out twice, walked, and doubled. In Sandy River, Chapman had an RBI single, another single, a ground out and hit into a fielder's choice. This one lifted high in the air on the infield, calling for it is Williamson over at short, and he'll make the grab for out number 3. So despite the 2-out walk, nothing hurt for Madison as we'll go to the top of the second inning with your score 2-0 Madison in this elimination game. We'll be back in 60 seconds as you're watching live streaming coverage of District 2 Little League Baseball presented by BOONE Memorial Hospital and powered by HD Media.
Started as a vision to bring quality health care to the coal fields of southern West Virginia, has grown to become so much more. Introducing BOONE Memorial Health, a modern state-of-the-art healthcare provider that has expanded its technology, capabilities, and footprint to meet the needs of our growing service area. With a 5-star patient experience rating 2 years running, our family of local employees, medical staff, leaders, and governing board are working hard to deliver compassionate care, respect for others, and excellence in all that we undertake. Our commitment to the communities we serve goes even further as we look to the future to make our region a better place to live, work, learn, and play. We are now BOONE Memorial Health. And for you and your family, we are bringing medicine home.
We head to the top of the second inning. Madison leads the Mullens All-Stars 2-0 here in this elimination game of the District 2 Little League Tournament. Chris Kidd with you. Robbie Mounts, our engineer. Butch Mounts, our executive producer of video productions, here with us today. As the winner of this game moves on for a winner-take-all contest against Chapmanville, hopefully tomorrow. Again, weather has disrupted 2 days of this tournament thus far as we had a rain out on Sunday and then a rain out yesterday. And right now in a race against the clock to try and get this game in before more weather moves in. As we mentioned at the top of the broadcast, looks like right around possibly 7:30 we could have a big thunderstorm system move through the Chapmanville area and the Logan area. So right now every moment counts in trying to get this game finished. You'd like to see it get to its conclusion instead of having a team declared a winner just because it finished 4 innings and then it started raining. So it looks like there's changes being made on both sides right now as the umpires conferring with both dugouts. This is our 8th game of 9 this week. We had 2 on Friday, 2 on Saturday, then 3 on Monday on the 4th of July, and this one, our first one since then. As Madison will send up their 7, 8, and 9 hitters this inning, as it'll be led off by Carter Linville, the second baseman, who made that terrific play for the second out back in the bottom of the first inning. As Linville, first pitch, misses high, 1-0. Linville was 1 for 2 against Mullens the other night, popped out to short and had an RBI single to center field. So that one missed a little low from Knuckles, 2-0. Against Mann, Linville reached on an error and had a single and an RBI double in that contest. That one swung on and missed, counting out a 1 and 2. That went in for a strike, 2 and 2. Knuckles trying to battle back from falling behind 2-0 early in this count. That one's going to miss outside, and the count runs full. Payoff pitch will miss inside and low, and that'll be a ball 4. So that'll be the first walk surrendered in the game by Knuckles, and the batter now will be Ace Chafin. Chafin struck out in his only plate appearance against Mullens on Friday. This is upstairs, 1-0. Actually, it's going to be Eli Gagnon in the batter's box, batting in place of Chafin here. His second offering swung on and missed by Gagnon, 1-1. Gagnon, he also struck out in his only plate appearance against Mullens the other day. That one's going to miss outside, 1-2. Gagnon also struck out and popped out in the win against Mann. That one's going to miss over his head, 3-1. Knuckles has fallen behind the first 2 batters of this inning, dealing with the bottom half of the order. And again, things get back to the top of the order with base runners. Could spell trouble for Mullens, as there's a swing and a miss by Gagnon. Count now full for the second time this inning. So he lost Linville to a walk just a moment ago. Now here's Gagnon with a 3-2. Strike 3 called, as it was dropped by Wood, but a runner occupying first base, so no chance to run down to first, and that'll be the first out of the inning. Third strikeout now for Knuckles, and that'll bring up Ronan Sheets. That one in for a strike on the outside corner. It's actually going to be Elkins now. Again, Madison changing up some of their batting order here. They do have 4 substitutes, trying to make sure they get everyone in. That one fouled off at home plate. Elkins walked in his only plate appearance against Mullens on Friday. And he also walked in his lone plate appearance the other day in the win over Mann. The 0-2 swung on a miss, strike 3, so Knuckles bears down. And after what looked like could be a very difficult start to this inning, he's able to get back-to-back strikeouts of Gagnon and Elkins. And now it'll bring it back to the top of the order with Alex Dent. Again, the coaching staffs for both sides. For Mullens, it's Rory Chapman and Ricky Shrewsbury. On the other side for Madison, you have Curtis Ashbury, Robbie Dent, and Zach Courtney. And Dent had to get a little bit of the catcher's equipment off again, with just trying to make sure he was going to get up so he didn't have to get everything off. So he takes a rip at the first pitch and fouls it right back toward us, 0-1. Dent had that looping single into left field his first time up, later scored on the air. That allowed him and Williamson to both come home. This one hit hard down the left field line, but Hook's just foul. Boy, that would have had a chance to have scored Linville if that one had dropped in. Now it's 0-2 the count. And Dent also had a great night on the mound against Mullens. He pitched a great game on Friday night in a losing effort, but struck out 10 batters in that contest. That one misses outside. Great backhanded stop by Wood. Dent continues to have a running conversation with the home plate umpire, all in good fun. This one will be lined out straight down the left field line, and that one could get to the wall. It will get to the wall. Linville round second, digging for third. They may send him. Here he comes on a turn, but a great throw in. Does kick away from Wood. Now Linville takes another couple of steps, but he'll end up retreating back towards third base. So a single and a double for Alex Dent here in the first 2 innings, and that'll bring up Nolan Williamson. Same situation we saw in the top of the first inning, second and third and 2 outs. Madison was able to cash in. Can they do it again here as Williamson takes a strike on the outside corner, 0-1. This one in on the fist of Williamson, ranging over and making the grab at third is Riker Shrewsbury, just in foul territory for the third out of the inning. Nice play by him as Madison will leave two on the base path, and Mullens stays close by, trailing only 2-0 as we move into the bottom of the second inning. As you are watching with us here live on Video Productions, live streaming coverage of District 2 Little League Baseball presented by BOONE Memorial Hospital and powered by HD Media.
Hi, I'm Casey Legg, and I'm from Charleston, West Virginia. And when I'm back home in Charleston, you will find me at my local Parmar store.
We had that Golden Boot pride at Parmar. There are literally hundreds of Parmar stores in West Virginia, Kentucky, Ohio, and Pennsylvania, and even more on the way. Download the Parmar app to save even more. And whether it's food, gas, groceries, or whatever, we have you covered at Parmar. West Virginia proud and ready to serve you.
If there's not a Parmar store near you now, there will be soon.
What started as a vision to bring quality health care to the coal fields of southern West Virginia has grown to become so much more. With a 5-star patient experience rating 2 years running, our family of local employees, medical staff, leaders, and governing board are working hard to deliver compassionate care, respect for others, and excellence in all that we undertake. We are now BOONE Memorial Health, and for you and your family, we are bringing medicine home.
Two to nothing, Madison leads Mullens as we start the bottom of the second inning. Chris Kidd with you. Robbie Mounts, our engineer. Got former state champion and Marshall University basketball standout, now University of Pikeville basketball standout, Devin Collins working some camera. We got some celebrities here today. So we got all sorts of fun here at the Tracy Vickers Little League Field. Again, Devin was two-time state champion with the Chapmanville High School basketball team, so always fun having him around. Always makes you feel a lot shorter than you feel. Again, Devin comes in, he's about 6'10". Again, one of the nicer guys you'll ever run into as Riker Shrewsbury will foul it off to the right side, counted 0-2. As Riker Shrewsbury was 0 for 3 against Madison on Friday night with a ground out and a pair of strikeouts. As Aldridge quickly on top of him. Now here comes the 0-2. That one just a slow change up, trying to get Shrewsbury out in front. The count now 1-2. Comes back with a heat. This one hit hard towards second, gobbled up over there by Linville. He'll throw on over to Wagner at first in time for the first out of the inning. So now the batter will be T.T. McKinney. McKinney was 1 for 4 against Madison last week. Ground out to third, had a bunt single and a pair of strikeouts. That one just missed outside, 1-0. McKinney was hit by a pitch, had a single, fielder's choice, and a walk against Sandy River the other day. That one missed low and away, and now 2-0. Against Chapmanville, McKinney had a pair of strikeouts, reached on an error, and walked in that contest. He's got a lot of speed whenever he gets ball on the ground. So if he gets one in on the infield, could be trouble. There's a swing and a miss. Count now 2-1 to the Mullens second baseman. That one misses low, and now it's 3-1. McKinney trying to be the first base runner here in the bottom of the second inning for Mullens as they're looking to try and get a rally going, trailing 2-0. Checks his swing and misses low, and that'll be ball 4. So a 1-out walk. Second walk given up by Aldridge in the game, and that'll bring up Mason Bailey.
Now making the way to the plate, number 34, Mason Bailey.
Bailey was 1 for 3 against Madison last Friday. He struck out, had an RBI ground out, then an RBI single in that win. That one misses upstairs, 1-0 as McKinney gets out to a big lead. Dent checks on him over at first. It's Sandy River. Bailey grounded out to first, reached on an error, then had a single to left field, and then a 2 RBI single to right field. That proved to be the game-winning runs against Sandy River. That one misses low from Aldridge, 2-0. As Bailey was 1 for 2 against Chapmanville with a strikeout, a single on the infield, and a walk. That one will miss low as well, now 3-0. So Mullens yet to register a hit in this contest, but walks could start to pose a big part of this ball game if Aldridge releases Bailey over to first. And he will. That's ball 4. So back-to-back walks now after the ground out to second to start the inning. Has Madison in a bit of trouble here as the batter now will be Isaac Shrewsbury. Shrewsbury was hit by a pitch, struck out and walked in his 3 plate appearances against Madison last week. Swing and a miss on the first offering from Aldridge, 0-1. Against Sandy River, Shrewsbury reached twice on an error, popped out to shortstop and struck out. The 0-1 offering from Aldridge will miss high, 1-1. Against Chapmanville, Shrewsbury was 0 for 2 with a pop out to second base and a strikeout. He's batting in the number 8 spot as the right fielder for the Mullens All-Stars. They have the tying run at first base after 2 runs scored in the first inning for Madison, and now they count to 2-1. 8 of the last 10 pitches from Aldridge have been balls now, trying to get himself settled in here after having a nice start to this contest. There's a strike on the outside corner, 2-2. Aldridge, 1 strikeout. That came with the leadoff man, Henry Van Dunk, trying to get his second here. That'll just miss, and now the count at 3-2. Dent's going to throw down to second, and that's close over there. It looks like he just got back to the bag in time. That was a tight play over there at second base after that. Bang, bang, but McKinney just got back to second base in time as Dent's got a strong arm. You can't sleep on him. Swing and a miss, strike 3 on Shrewsbury. There is the second strike out of the game. Now they get McKinney in a rundown. He slides back in, and he'll get back to second base in time. Well, he's living dangerously out there at second base right now. He almost got picked off by Dent a second ago, and right there got himself into a rundown, but was able to get back. And obviously McKinney trying to induce a throw, see if maybe he can get an error from Madison and get a run in. I think he trusts his speed enough. But the This Madison team's got some strong arms out there. You got to be careful with them as Hunter Hill stands in. He was 0 for 1 with a strikeout against Madison on Friday. Now count 1-0. Against Sandy River, Hill had an RBI single to right field and struck out in that game. So 1-0 in for a strike right down the pipe, 1-1. Hill also struck out in both of his plate appearances against Chapmanville the other day. That one's going to miss and get low in the dirt, and that's going to allow the runners to move up as Dent chases it down, but not until runners get to second and third. So now a base hit could tie this game up. Mullens, who's hit well throughout this tournament, yet to get a hit here today off of Aldridge. But a pair of walks this inning has given Mullens an opportunity here. So here comes the 2-1 pitch. Tried to take a little off and hit the outside corner, but missed it, and now it's 3-1. See if Hill's taking here to try and load the bases with another walk this inning. He swings away, and that one was right down the middle. So the count now to 3-2. A chance for Aldridge to get out of the second inning unscathed. Mullens looking to try and tie things up. That'll miss and get away. Here comes McKinney to the plate. Dent couldn't find it, and McKinney will cross. Mullens has cut the lead in half now at 2-1 here in the bottom of the second inning. So 3 walks this inning gives Mullens new life. And then the pass ball there on the 3-2 now has this at a 2-1 game. Runners at first and third here, and Van Dunk at the plate. Van Dunk struck out in his first plate appearance. As this one jams him on the inside, a little chopper to Ashbury. Long throw over to first, and in time for out number 3. Great throw by Ashbury in order to get the speedy Van Dunk getting down the first baseline and keep Madison in the lead at 2-1 as we go to the top of the third inning. We'll be back after this 60-second break as you're watching live streaming coverage of District 2 Little League Baseball presented by Boone Memorial Hospital and powered by HD Media.
Want it? Click it.
Reserve it and drive it.
Buy it at Thornhill.
Buy it at Thornhill.
Buy it at Thornhill. That's right. Getting your new vehicle just got easier.
Visit any of our 6 locations and get a personalized experience in preferencing your next new vehicle.
Tag one of our pre-built invoices.
Or let's customize your exact features with our easy built-to-order process.
All we have to offer with shopping ease at ThornhillAutomotive.com.
Tag your new ride.
Tag your new ride.
Tag your new ride.
Tag your new ride on the
Thornhill Motor Mile.
The main goal of our firm is to provide the best client experience possible.
I want my clients to believe that they've experienced fairness. Then finally, I want them to know that they got a friend. I'm not in the business of running off business, but I'm in the business of being honest.
At the end of the day and at the end of the case, I want the client to know that they didn't leave anything on the table, to feel without doubt that they made the right decision to hire this firm.
Top of the third inning we head as Mullens has cut the lead in half at 2-1 here in this win or go home contest between the Mullens and Madison All-Stars. Chris Kidd with you. Alongside me, Robbie Mounts, our engineer, Butch Mounts, our executive producer on Video Productions, here with us today. As it'll be the heart of the order here for Madison. 3, 4, and 5 hitters as that one in for a strike. Count evens up at 1-1. As of right now, looking at the weather, again, that storm system moving in looks like a little past 7:30. but you can tell the wind starting to pick up from that system starting to bear down on the area. Count now 1-2 as Aldridge popped out in foul territory to Wood, the catcher, his first time up. This one rocketed back up the middle, gets underneath the glove of Knuckles, and that'll be into center field for a leadoff hit. So Aldridge reaches, and that'll bring up the cleanup hitter, Nathan Wagner. Wagner struck out in his first plate appearance. Takes a rip at the first pitch and will foul it out of play to the right, 0-1. And the winner of this game gets Chapmanville tomorrow at approximately 6 p.m. to try and see who will fill that second spot out of this district in the state tournament in Martinsburg later this month, as that one misses low. Nice stop by Wood. Count now at 1-1. And Logan is already through to the state tournament. And one of the three teams remaining will fill that second spot. This one hit hard back up the middle. Nice stop out at short. Fielded by Chapman on to second, now to first, and that's a double play for Chapman. Great job by him, as that ball was absolutely smoked by Wagner that time. And Ryder Chapman, who was able to puzzle these Madison bats on Friday night with a great pitching performance, comes up with a huge double play there to wipe the bases clean. Now the batter will be Gunnar Ashbury. He reached on an error his first time up. That went in for a strike, 0-1. Knuckles would love an inning where he's not going to have to sweat it out again. Had second and third in the top of the second inning as well, but was able to dig out of that. Asbury chases after that high heater that time and just kind of turns around and smiles after that. He knows that was the no-no pitch to go after. It's just so hard. Every one of us have done it in Little League, and there's a swing and a miss, strike 3, as that one came right down Broadway. So a nice quick inning for Braxton Knuckles to retire Madison here in the top of the third, but Madison still in the lead at 2-1 as we head to the bottom of the third inning. Back after this break as you're watching live streaming coverage of District 2 Little League Baseball presented by Boone Memorial Hospital and powered by HD Media.
Hi, my name's Zach Frazier and I'm from Fairmont, West Virginia. And when I'm back at home in Fairmont, you'll find me at my local Parmar store.
We had that Golden Boot pride at Parmar. There are literally hundreds of Parmar stores in West Virginia, Kentucky, Ohio, and Pennsylvania, and even more on the way. Download the Parmar app to save even more. And whether it's food, gas, groceries, or whatever, we have you covered at Parmar. West Virginia proud and ready to serve you.
If there's not a Parmar store near you now, there will be soon.
At Tiger's Ice Cream and Grill, we have a huge menu offering home-cooked dinners, hamburgers, tacos, hot dogs, pizza, Philly steaks, and desserts, including, of course, ice cream. Ask about our weekly home-cooked dinners. We have an everyday hot dog special, 6 hot dogs for $5.99, or $5 14-inch large grab-and-go pizzas made from our fresh homemade dough. So visit Tiger's Ice Cream and Grill, located beside the old IGA in Chapmanville, just off the Crawley Creek exit of 1.
He's one of those. Now the heart of the order came up for Madison in the last half inning, and now it's going to be the 2-3-4 for Mullens as they look to try and tie or maybe take the lead for the first time today. Chris Kidd with you. So that one hit out towards second. Another nice play by Linville over there, and he's able to throw out Braxton Knuckles for the second time. He's grounded out now to Linville. And that is one away here in the bottom of the third. Boy, Linville's been so impressive over there at second base today. He threw out Knuckles from his backside the last time up. And this time, backhand stops it again and takes away what has been very likelihood a hit for most players in this district tournament. Now the batter is James Wood. He walked his first time up. Very dangerous hitter for this Mullens All-Star club. That'll miss outside from Aldridge, 2-0. Wood actually came up and talked with us a little bit the other day. He wanted to just thank us for everything that we're doing here on the broadcast. Very intelligent young man. Very gracious young man as well. Even though I'm looking up at him whenever we speak. That one misses low, 3-0. Again, just a really nice kid, and it was really gracious of him to come up and say some of the nice things he said. Stayed and chatted with us for a little bit. Now a 3-0 pitch from Aldridge, and that'll be another 4-pitch walk to Wood. So they're pitching him very carefully today. They don't want to try and ignite this Mullens club with a blast from him. So he's just been staying low and away the entire time. So it was 8 pitches overall to Wood, and all of them have been balls. So that'll bring up Ryder Chapman. Popped out to shortstop to end the first inning, but made a great double play in the top of the third. It took runners off the base path for Mullens. That one will miss low, 1-0. Aldridge gets the sign he wants from Ditt and comes set. This one slapped towards third, and that gets into left field. So Wood will move on to second base. And Chapman over at first now. Only one out here in the bottom of the third inning. We'll see how they score that. And it looks like that'll end up being an error overall. So not a hit, but definitely the hardest hit ball thus far of the game for Mullens, as they're still searching for their first hit of the game. They were able to plate their lone run last inning after 3 walks and then a passed ball. Now that was pitch number 48 for Aldridge as Riker Shrewsbury stands in. He grounded out to second base his last time up. That one misses low. Good stop by Dent. Wood's going to make a break for it to third. The throw is in time, but the ball was dropped, and he's safe. Now goes Chapman over to second base, and he'll get in safely. Boy, that was dangerous base running there with the strength of Dent's arm. I believe Wood thought it kicked away further than it did initially, but Wood able to get in underneath that tag from Ashbury, and the ball popped loose. Ashbury probably a little bit nervous with Wood bearing down on him that time as well. Took his eye off of it perhaps, and unable to squeeze it. Swing and a miss from Shrewsbury. It's counting out 2-1. So a base hit here could give Mullens their first lead of the game. They trail it 2-1. Here in the bottom of the third inning. 50th pitch from Aldridge. 52 pitches on the board for Knuckles thus far. Again, 85 is the limit if you're just joining us for the first time this week, as that one fouled off by Shrewsbury. Count at 2-2. Aldridge trying to come back and looking for a big strikeout here if he can get it. He's got 2 thus far on the afternoon. Just tipped foul by Shrewsbury. He was able to just get a piece of that to stay alive in the count. And if he can put one in play on the infield, it would likely tie this game. As the infield playing back for Madison right now, conceding that run. Misses low and inside, 3-2. T.T. McKinney waiting on deck for the Mullens All-Stars. Here comes the 3-2. Strike 3 called. Great pitch that time from Aldridge. Able to paint that outside corner for his 3rd strikeout of the game. Now 2 away with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 3rd inning, and that'll bring up T.T. McKinney. McKinney was the first of 3 walked last inning and then later scored on the pass ball. That one skips and gets away. Wood's going to make a break for it. Here he comes to the plate. The throw, not in time, and we're all tied at 2-2 here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Chapman will reach 3rd on the pass ball as well. And Mullens has tied this game despite registering a hit yet in this contest. They've used timely base running to do so, as you saw it there in our Thornhill Automotive instant replay. And Wood, for the 2nd game in a row, able to make a big steal of home plate. As we mentioned earlier, he had the steal of home on the pass ball that gave them the lead in the 6th inning against Sandy River the other day. Swing and a miss by McKinney. 0-1 the count. And now he gets the big steal of home to tie the game here in this do-or-die game for both clubs. Again, winner moves on to the finals of the losers bracket to face Chapmanville tomorrow with a state tournament berth at stake. The loser season is over as McKinney tried to get a bunt down, but came up empty. Count now 1-2. McKinney upset with himself after that. He knows he had a pretty good pitch to try and get that bunt down that time. And now here comes a 1-2 offering. Swung on a miss, strike 3, and a great squeeze by Dent that time. And that will do it here in the bottom of the 3rd inning as Mullens is able to come back and tie the game, though, on the pass ball of home and the steal by James Wood as we're halfway home and we're all square back to where we started here from Tracy Vickers Little League Field. You're watching live streaming coverage of District 2 Little League Baseball presented by Boone Memorial Hospital and powered by HD Media.
We're always moving. Scratch that. We're always moving forward. We never stop because life never stops.
At Childers Enterprises, your comfort is our business. We're always on the go. Childers Enterprises is your train comfort specialist in Southern West Virginia. Choose train and feel pretty comfortable in your home.
Make that one call to Childers Enterprises for your free estimate.
It's hard to stop a train.
Hi, I'm Zachy Lawton. I'm from Charleston, West Virginia. When I'm back home in Charleston, you can find me in my local Parmar store.
We had that Golden Boot pride at Parmar. There are literally hundreds of Parmar stores in West Virginia, Kentucky, Ohio, and Pennsylvania, and even more on the way. Download the Parmar app to save even more. And whether it's food, gas, groceries, or whatever, we have you covered at Parmar. West Virginia proud, West Virginia strong, and ready to serve you.
If there's not a Parmar store near you now, there will be soon.
Top of the 4th inning we head as we are all square at 2 apiece here from Tracy Vickers Little League Field in this elimination game. Chris Kidd with you with Robbie Mounts, our engineer, Butch Mounts, executive producer, video productions with us here today. Devin Collins, our cameraman. Count 1-0. As Woodrum hits one over towards 3rd, knocked down by Shrewsbury. Long throw, Van Dunk digs it out just as he's done all week over at first base. As Woodrum batting in place of Ferguson that time. The 3rd of 4 coming off the bench for the Madison All-Stars, and it'll be out number 1. Great job by Shrewsbury hanging with that. Now you get Carter Linville, who walked his first time up. That pitch misses, 1-0. As we mentioned, weather moving into the area. Starting to see some clouds out towards center field at the moment. Again, the stronger stuff not moving in for maybe another hour or so. But we've been in a race against the clock all day. That's why this game was moved up to 5:30. Original start time was 6 o'clock. But trying to move this up after the rain out yesterday, the rain out on Sunday. That one foul tip by Linville, count 2-1. And again, this tournament's up against time constraints because the 9 and 10-year-old tournament starts here on Friday. And so they're desperately trying to get this game in so that they can get tomorrow finish for this District 2 tournament. That way it doesn't interfere with the 9 and 10-year-olds, as that one fouled out of play to the right by Linville, 2-2. Carter Linville, 2-2 count. This one off the end of his bat, popped into the air, and nice job by Knuckles backing up on it. He'll make the grab for out number 2. And Linville's made so many good plays in the field, and also grandson of a colleague of ours, old Joe Linville, saw him on the premises today. There you see it on instant replay. Again, Joe does such a great job with Scott High School sports. He's helped us out on video productions numerous times, so I'm sure he's enjoying getting to be a fan today. Much his grandson makes some great defensive plays. So Ace Chafin will get his first at bat of the ball game. With 2 away here in the top of the 4th inning, 1-0 the count. This one fouled off to the left by Chafin as he got a little out in front of it. Chafin struck out in his only plate appearance against Mullens the other night. That was pitch 61 for Knuckles. He and Aldridge right around the same mark right now. That's 62 fouled off, 58 for Aldridge. But Aldridge still with a whole half inning to go here. Knuckles has 4 strikeouts, here in this early evening, looking for 5. Comes with a curveball and just fouled off by Chafin. Looking for a 1-2-3 inning here is Knuckles. That will miss low and get away. Counting out 2-2. Knuckles fires a fastball in this time, but misses high, and now the count runs to 3-2. So good job here by Chafin, battling back from down in this count. And he'll get rewarded as he's able to draw a 2-out walk. And that foul tip at 1-2 proved to be big. Now Coach Rory Chapman coming out and talking with a home plate umpire here momentarily. So now Ronan Sheets will stand in. This will be his first at bat of the game. Again, Elkins batted in his spot the first time up and struck out. Sheets struck out in his only plate appearance against Mullens the other day. This one hit sky high on the infield. Wood charging over for it, and he'll make the grab. In fair ground just up the third base side, and a great inning there for Knuckles as they get out unscathed in the top of the 4th. We now head to the bottom of the 4th inning where we're still tied 2-2 in this elimination game from Tracy Vickers Little League Field. You're watching live streaming of District 2 Little League Baseball presented by Boone Memorial Hospital and powered by HD Media.
What started as a vision to bring quality health care to the coal fields of southern West Virginia has grown to become so much more. With a 5-star patient experience rating 2 years running, our family of local employees, medical staff, leaders, and governing board are working hard to deliver compassionate care, respect for others, and excellence in all that we undertake. We are now Boone Memorial Health, and for you and your family, we are bringing medicine home.
Mason Bailey stands in here as we start the bottom of the 4th inning. Chris Kidd with you. Robbie Mounts, our engineer. Butch Mounts, executive producer of Video Productions, with us. As 1-0 the count. The winner of this game moves on to the championship game of the losers bracket against Chapmanville tomorrow, approximately at 6 o'clock. But again, that's if we're able to get this game in, as the sky is getting darker all around right now, especially out in center field. They said if we got through 4 innings and someone was ahead, that would be an official game. Right now we're deadlocked 2 apiece, but if Mullens is able to get a run here in this bottom of the 4th inning, that could end up making the difference if it does start to come down here. Count 3-0 to Bailey. And that'll be ball 4. Bailey walked his first time up, and he'll walk to start the 4th inning as well. So now let's see what kind of strategy that they choose. As Shrewsbury will move back. Looks like Coach Ashbury is going to come out and talk to his young hurler. Let's see if this will be it for Aldridge or not. It looks like it will be, as they put Linville back behind home plate at catcher, and they had Dent move out to shortstop in likelihood for this event. That is, they were going to bring in Dent in this spot, but instead it looks like they're going to go with Williamson. Again, the wind's starting to pick up a lot here. And again, you see it there on our camera. Again, the sky is getting darker, and it looked like the strong stuff wasn't going to move in until about 7:30 or so, but it may be arriving a little sooner. So we'll step aside for a quick break while Williamson warms up and be back after this, as you're watching live streaming coverage of District 2 Little League Baseball presented by Boone Memorial Hospital and powered by HD Media.
Tiger's Ice Cream and Grill, we have a huge menu offering home-cooked dinners, hamburgers, tacos, hot dogs, pizza, Philly steaks, and desserts, including, of course, ice cream. Ask about our weekly home-cooked dinners. We have an everyday hot dog special, 6 hot dogs for $5.99, or $5 14-inch large grab-and-go pizzas made from our fresh homemade dough. So visit Tiger's Ice Cream and Grill, located beside the old IGA in Chapmanville, just off the Crawley Creek exit of 119.
The main goal of our firm is to provide the best client experience possible.
Williamson finished warming up quickly, and now we're back to action. Chris Kidd with you. Alongside me, Robbie Mounts, our engineer. Butch Mounts, our executive producer on Video Productions. That one in for a strike to Isaac Shrewsbury, 0-1. Shrewsbury struck out in his lone plate appearance against Aldridge. There's a swing and a miss, 0-2. Again, we keep paying attention to the radar here, which is becoming just as much a part of this game as the 2 teams on the field at the moment. Again, it has gotten darker and darker by the minute, and that one's going to miss over the head of Shrewsbury, so that's going to allow Bailey to move over to second base. And again, every moment now in this game looms large, because we were told that if they get through 4 innings and the team's ahead, that would be an official ball game at that point. And right now, Mullens could be knocking on the door of trying to take that lead, but a big strikeout by Williamson as he retires Shrewsbury for the first out of the inning. Now the batter will be Hunter Hill. Again, we're here in the press box looking out towards center field. You can see the flag moving pretty rapidly along with the leaves on the trees, and that one gets away, and that's going to move the runner Bailey up to third base now. They've already turned the lights on here down on the field, and we're only at 6:30 here in the evening. Very early evening. So that should give you an idea of how dark it started to get around the field right now. That one's going to get away. Bailey's going to break. No, now he's going to go back. And not sure if they wanted him to go or not that time. But he hesitated at first, and that little hesitation caused him to stay back. Now the count 2-0 as Williamson deals, swinging a miss as Hill went tomahawk chopping after that one and came up empty, 2-1. Hill walked in his first plate appearance. That one will miss, 3-1. does, if you're watching with us here on Video Productions, it looks like a nighttime game right now, and here even from our view it looks like a nighttime game. And that one will miss, ball 4. So Hill walks in both of his plate appearances here today. And now you've got Henry Van Dunk standing in. And Van Dunk's been one of the hotter hitters in this tournament thus far today, though, for 2. He struck out in his first plate appearance and grounded out the third his last time up. That'll miss outside. And now the runner's going to move over to second base, as now Bailey's going to come home if they got the double steal on, but Bailey retreats back and just does get home. Madison executed that very well that time as Dent came up. Whenever Linville threw it out there, Bailey took about 5 or 6 steps towards home and then came back. Now Coach Ashbury going to come out, and he's going to make another pitching change here. And he's going to go with Dent, it looks like now, as Dent was their ace the other day. Now they're going to bring him on here with runners at second and third and 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th inning to try and see if he can get out of this jam. We'll be back after this quick break as you're watching live streaming coverage of District 2 Little League presented by Boone Memorial Hospital and powered by HD Media.
Started as a vision to bring quality health care to the coal fields of southern West Virginia, has grown to become so much more. Introducing Boone Memorial Health, a modern state-of-the-art healthcare provider that has expanded its technology, capabilities, and footprint to meet the needs of our growing service area. With a 5-star patient experience rating 2 years running, our family of local employees, medical staff, leaders, and governing board are
back to action again. The warm-up's getting quicker and quicker here as they're trying to get this game in to see who will face Chapmanville in the finals of the losers bracket tomorrow. Chris Kidd with you as Taylor Dent in now as that ball got away, but Bailey holds at third. And it looks like Coach Chapman over at third trying to talk to Bailey right now about getting a good lead down there to try and get home on any of these pass balls. That one's going to miss and get away. Bailey again takes several steps towards home but goes back. Count 3-1 right now. In so many circumstances at play with the weather moving in here rapidly. And Mullens trying to take what could be a decisive lead if they can get it here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Van Dunk fouls it off, 3-2. If you're out there driving any tonight, be careful. Had some people messaging me talking about how bad it is up towards Charleston at the moment as that one fouled off towards the third base side by Van Dunk. 3-2 the count remains. Again, if Van Dunk can put the ball on the ground and play here, Mullens could likely take the lead here in the bottom of the 4th. Madison jumped out 2-0 in the top of the 1st, and Mullens has been scratching their way back since then, and that's ball 4 outside. Ironically enough, Mullens has done all this without the benefit of a single hit in this game. As walks have absolutely killed Madison today. That's the 8th walk given up by Madison pitching in this game. And now Braxton Knuckles at the bat. This one chopped over between first and second, and there is the first hit of the game, and it gives Mullens the lead. Here comes another runner to the plate. Throw is in time, and he's out at the plate. Great throw in right field that time in order to cut down that runner and prevent this from becoming a 2-run game. As Hayden Ferguson with a frozen rope from right field, able to throw out Hunter Hill trying to get into the bag. But the RBI single by Knuckles now has given Mullens a 3-2 lead here in the bottom of the 4th inning. And runners still at second and third. Now you've got James Wood up. He's walked on 8 pitches here tonight. That one misses over the head of the catcher, but it ricocheted back to Linville. So the runner stays at third base. And And they're just going to go ahead and walk Wood again, and those pitches will count against Dent. That's the second time they've just gone ahead and intentionally walked Wood. And you can hear the Mullens fans annoyed with it. But at the same time, if you're Madison, you've seen what Wood's been able to do at the plate this tournament. You don't really want to try and test things here in such a pivotal moment. And now the batter's going to be Ryder Chapman. Chapman 0 for 2 today, popped out to shortstop and then reached on an error in the third inning. There's a fastball right down the pipe, 1-1. Again, Dent pitched against Mullens on Friday night, struck out 10 in that contest, but ended up the losing pitcher because of the man that he's facing at the plate right now, and Ryder Chapman swinging a miss, 1-2. So Madison trying to keep this at a 1-run deficit and get a chance in the top of the fifth. That one will miss low, 2-2. That'll be interesting with 2 strikes here if a ball would happen to get away, if they would gamble and try and send Van Dunk home in this spot. That one's going to miss high, and now we've got a do-or-die pitch here, 3-2, bases loaded and 2 out. Dent kicking the dirt around on the mound right now, trying to get himself ready. Here comes a huge pitch in this contest. Strike 3 is Dent able to hit the outside corner and keep Madison at a 1-run deficit as we head to the top of the 5th inning. But the RBI single by Braxton Knuckles gives Mullens the lead for the first time this evening as they'll take a 3-2 lead in the top of the 5th. Back after this 60-second break as you're watching live streaming coverage of District 2 Little League Baseball presented by BOONE Memorial Hospital and powered by HD Media.
Started as a vision to bring quality health care to the coal fields of southern West Virginia, has grown to become so much more. With a 5-star patient experience rating 2 years running, our family of local employees, medical staff, leaders, and governing board are working hard to deliver compassionate care, respect for others, and excellence in all that we undertake. We are now BOONE Memorial Health, and for you and your family, we are bringing medicine home.
At Tiger's Ice Cream and Grill, we have a huge menu offering home-cooked dinners, hamburgers, tacos, hot dogs, pizza, Philly steaks, and desserts, including, of course, ice cream. Ask about our weekly home-cooked dinners. We have an everyday hot dog special, 6 hot dogs for $5.99, or $5 14-inch large grab-and-go pizzas made from our fresh homemade dough. So visit Tiger's Ice Cream and Grill, located beside the old IGA in Chapmanville, just off the Crawley Creek exit of 1.
Three to 2, Mullens leads it as we enter the late innings here now from Tracy Vickers Field in Chapmanville, West Virginia, from the 2022 District 2 11 and 12-year-old Little League Tournament. Chris Kidd with you. Robbie Mounts, our engineer, as Braxton Knuckles back on the mound. He's got 67 pitches right now. The 68th will be a ball low, 1-0. It'll be the top of the order for Madison this inning as Alex Dent swings and misses. Dent today 2 for 2. He singled to left field, then doubled to left field his last time up off of Knuckles. Misses low, 2-1. This one rocketed into center field, coming on, and it gets by Bailey in center field. Dent is going to run for days here. He's rounding second. Now up with a throw. He'll get into third base, and it'll be a leadoff triple for Dent as the throw gets way over at third, but ricochets off of the dugout on Madison's side, and Dent has a single, has a double, now a triple in this contest, and a chance for Madison to even things up here quickly after losing the lead in the bottom of the 4th inning. Nolan Williamson singled to right field and popped out to third his last time up as he fouls that one out of play, 0-1. And looks like the chest protector from Wood came loose. And Roy Chapman going to come out and try and help him get it fixed here, perhaps. I don't know if it snapped or not, or if it just came undone. Again, if you're just joining us, Madison took a 2-0 lead in the top of the first inning. Mullens was able to scratch a run across in the third, then scratch another across in the fourth, in the second, and then in the third, and then able to finally take the lead on their first hit of the ball game from Braxton Knuckles in the bottom of the fourth inning. But it's been walks that have hurt Madison so much today. They've walked 8 batters in this contest that has given Mullens their opportunities. But now Madison trying to fight back here and see if they can even this game up. Again, the winner of this game will face Chapmanville in the finals of the losers bracket tomorrow, we hope, at this point. Again, if this game's tied and the weather moves in, then I guess we would have to finish this game first tomorrow and then move into the next game.
At this point, it's the score at the last full inning play, where it was 3-2 at the end of the fourth, that would go back to the fourth, and that would be the game.
Okay, well, Robbie Mounts informing me on that. Again, if the rain were to hit now and we don't get through the full inning of play, then it would go back to where the score was at the last completed inning of play, so that would still work in Mullens' favor at this point. Boy, that'd be interesting if Madison took the lead here in the top of the fifth and all of a sudden the rain came. This one hit towards third, fielded cleanly. Shrewsbury thought about coming home with it, instead goes over to first, and he'll get the out there. And probably a wise decision there by Shrewsbury. Again, Dent charging down the line, and Wood would have still had to have applied the tag at the same time. So that RBI ground out from Williamson ties the game here in the top of the fifth inning. And now the batter will be Asher Aldridge as he'll take a strike, 0-1. As Aldridge, 1 for 2 today, popped out in foul territory and singled his last time up, almost got one down the line that time. But that'll roll foul. So now an 0-2 count on Aldridge. Swing and a miss as he went after that one low, as Wood dropped it initially and then able to tag Aldridge out for the second out of the inning. So Knuckles now at 77 pitches overall. And that is now his 6th strikeout of the game, and that'll bring up Nathan Wagner. That one misses, and Van Dunk, beside himself over at first base, he thought that was a strike, as he had his mouth agape and everything after that one. And that one's going to miss inside, 2-0. As Wagner, 0 for 2 today, struck out in the first inning and then grounded into a double play his last time up as he smoked the ball out towards second, but Chapman fielded it clean, stepped on second, and then threw it to first in time. This one, another hard hit ball, but it goes right to Knuckles. He'll throw over to first in time for the third out. So Alex Dent brings the Madison All-Stars back with a leadoff triple, and then Nolan Williamson's ground out gets him home with the RBI. And we're back to all square at 3-3 as we go to the bottom of the fifth inning. We'll be back after this as you're watching live streaming coverage of the District 2 Little League Baseball Tournament presented by Boone Memorial Hospital and powered by HD Media.
The main goal of our firm is to provide the best client experience possible.
I want my clients to believe that they've experienced fairness. Then finally, I want them to know that they got a friend. I'm not in the business of running off business, but I'm in the business of being honest.
At the end of the day and at the end of the case, I want the client to know that they didn't leave anything on the table, to feel without doubt that they made the right decision to hire this firm.
In Peytonville, there's lots of ways to save on auto insurance.
Really?
Yep. Very proud of that. With Smart Ride from Nationwide, they can get discounts for safe driving.
Does she get one?
Mrs. Carmichael, safest driver in Peytonville. Takes a lot of work and effort to be the safest driver in Peytonville.
What about this guy?
With Nationwide Smart Miles, the less he drives, the less he pays. The list of inspiring stories goes on and on.
I bet. I've never seen anyone do more with their retirement than you.
I concur.
Bottom of the fifth inning, we're all even at 3 apiece. Chris Kidd with you, and Riker Shrewsbury leads things off with a single into center field. The winner of this game will get a chance to play for berth in the state tournament tomorrow against Chapmanville to be the second team to advance to Martinsburg. Logan is already there with a 3-2 win over Chapmanville the other day. Chapmanville automatically moving into the finals of that bracket. These two teams battle their way through the bottom half of the bracket. And now we're just one step away from a chance to play for that state tournament berth. This has been an excellent game thus far today, even with all the weather around us, as that pitch misses, gets away from Linville, and that's going to allow Shrewsbury to get over to second, throw down from Linville, but not going to be in time. Again, the wind's starting to pick up more and more right now. Again, if you look at the weather map, it is absolutely all around us right now. It's crazy that it hasn't hit yet. And this one back up the middle. Dent fields cleanly, throws over to first in time for the out. Wagner's going to throw over to third, not going to be in time to get Shrewsbury. But McKinney does move the runner up. And a chance here for Mullens to retake the lead. And if they can push this run across, they will be only 3 outs away from moving on to tomorrow. Mason Bailey, he's walked both times he's been up here today. This one hit towards the first base side and just foul. Boy, that one had to have made your heart stop if you're Wagner over at first and the rest of the Madison dugout. That looked like it might go down the right field line at first. But instead, it'll be 0-1 now against Dent. Nice stop by Linville that time as he kept it in front of him. Count it 1-1. Miss inside to Bailey, 2-1. And Bailey got the 2 RBI single against Sandy River the other day when Mullens had taken a 7-6 lead, but that proved to be the game-winning hit as Sandy River scored 2 runs in the bottom half of that inning as that ball skips away, but not far enough for Shrewsbury to make an attempt to come home. Now the count to 3-1. So Bailey was the hero the other day, looking to try and duplicate that here as count in his favor. Swing and a miss, now 3-2. That was pitch 26 from Dent. This one fouled out of play straight back by Bailey. Count will remain at 3-2. Bailey can put one in play here. It might give Shrewsbury a chance to score if it's on the ground. That'll miss low, ball 4, and Bailey has reached all 3 times via the walk. And now first and third with 1 out. And the batter will be Isaac Shrewsbury. He struck out in both his plate appearances today. A chance for him now to possibly play hero. And now you see the infield moving in for Madison. Swing and a miss, strike one, as Bailey will take off for second. They'll throw over to shortstop just to see if they could trick Shrewsbury into trying to take off from third. Again, Riker Shrewsbury reaching on the single into center field to lead off this inning. That one comes inside and misses. Dent wanted that one for a strike. Count 1-1. Again, with Madison now pitching Dent over 20 pitches, if Madison were to somehow come on and win this game, then Dent would not be available tomorrow against Chapmanville. There's a strike, 1-2. Dent, big pitch here, misses up top, count 2-2. And it's the number 8 hitter in the lineup. Number 9 hitter Hunter Hill would be on deck. Here comes the 2-2. That one apparently misses. Now 3-2 the count. Dent starting to get frustrated on the mound. He thought he had a couple of strikes in this at bat. But now the count is run full to Shrewsbury. There's strike 3 as he hits the inside corner. Big pitch there from Dent. As he retires Shrewsbury for the 3rd time today, and now Hunter Hill will stand in. Hill has walked in both of his plate appearances today. That one hits and gets away from the catcher. Now here comes Shrewsbury to the plate, and he'll score, and Mullens has taken the lead 4-3. They throw over to third to check on Bailey, but he's in safe. And now Mullens is just 3 outs away from moving on to the finals of the losers bracket tomorrow to face Chapmanville. That one just, and you saw Linville, who was pointing at it, it hit off the inside of his glove or right near his palm, and that's why it kicked away that time. That one misses, 1-1. Again, if Madison goes on as that one gets away, here comes Bailey now to the plate. The throw not going to be in time, and now a big insurance run for Mullens as they take a 5-3 lead here with 2 outs in the bottom of the 5th inning. And I was just about to say, if Madison goes on to lose this game, they're going to look back at a lot of these mistakes here today. Again, they've only surrendered 2 hits on the game, but they have given up 10 walks overall in this contest. That one in for a strike. No, I missed high, excuse me. I was confused by the motion there, the home plate umpire. So that's ball 4. That's walk number 11 now for the game. And the 7, 8, 9 hitters for Mullens have walked 6 of those times here today. And that'll bring up Henry Van Dunk, who struck out, grounded out to third, and walked last inning. And then several of these pass balls, I believe 4 of the 5 runs now for Mullens have come, or 3 of the 5 have come by a pass ball. And now they throw down to first. It gets by Wagner, and Hill now notices it, and he'll move over to second base. As Linville was trying to throw down after Hill had gotten out to a big lead at first, but the throw was away from Wagner. And you can start seeing the frustration now from the Madison All-Stars in the field. There's a strike on the outside corner, 1-1. Yes, 3 of the 5 runs for Mullens today have happened on pass balls. And as we mentioned, the 11 walks as well. That one will miss and get away, and now Hill will scoot over to third base. And Mullens can pick up another insurance run here. That'd be big. Again, 80 pitches on the board for Braxton Knuckles. So he'll likely have to be lifted early in the top of the 6th inning. That one will miss as well, 2-1, now 3-1. But I would imagine Chapman will probably be the one that they'll bring in for Mullens in that event. He was a starting pitcher on Friday night, but he's had his 4 days rest. Van Dunk hits it between third and short, and that's going to get into left field for a hit. And Mullens now has opened up a 6-3 lead here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Van Dunk keeps his hit streak alive here in this district tournament with that single. Now the batter will be Braxton Knuckles.
Now batting number 21, Braxton Knuckles.
Knuckles today, 1 of 3, grounded out to second base twice, then had an RBI single into right field. So he's gone to the right side all 3 times at the plate today. That pitch misses high, 1-0. Swing and a miss by Knuckles, 1-1. Swing and a miss, strike 2. So Dent trying to put an end to this bottom of the 5th inning. That's seen Mullens are up for 3 runs thus far. Van Dunk, who just had that RBI single a moment ago, standing at first. Swing and a foul tip into the glove of Knuckles, and that'll do it here in the bottom of the 5th inning. But damage has been done as Mullens plates 3 runs, and they are now 3 outs away from moving on to a date with Chapmanville tomorrow in the finals of the losers bracket. You're watching live streaming coverage of District 2 Little League Baseball, presented by Boone Memorial Hospital and powered by HD Media.
In Peytonville, there's lots of ways to save on auto insurance.
Really?
Yep. Very proud of that. With Smart Ride from Nationwide, they can get discounts for safe driving.
Does she get one?
Mrs. Carmichael, safest driver in Peytonville, takes a lot of work and effort to be the safest driver in Peytonville.
What about this guy?
With Nationwide Smart Miles, the less he drives, the less he pays. The list of inspiring stories goes on and on.
I bet. I've never seen anyone do more with their retirement than you.
I concur.
Six to 3, Mullens leads Madison as we go to the top of the 6th inning. Chris Kidd with you, with Robbie Mounts, our engineer, Butch Mounts, our executive producer here, as we look like we're going to be able to stave off the weather, but now can Mullens hold off Madison here for 3 more outs to move on to face Chapmanville tomorrow and a chance to go to the state tournament. That went in for a strike from Knuckles. Count 1-1 to Ashbury, who's 0 for 2 today, reached on an error and struck out in his 2 appearances. Knuckles, though, coming to the end of his day here on the mound. That one misses, 2-1. And this could very well be the last batter he'll get to face, as he's at pitch number 83 now. That one's going to miss behind Ashbury, now 3-1. And we mentioned 11 walks given up by Madison pitching. Only 2 walks surrendered thus far by Knuckles. This one hit back up the middle. Nice stop by Knuckles. Turns and throws to Van Dunk, and there's one away here in the top of the 6th. And that's a great way for Knuckles to conclude his evening. Going 5 1/3 innings pitched, struck out 6, walked 3. Braxton Knuckles could have Mullens on the verge of moving on to tomorrow in our final game of this district tournament. Now it's going to be on Ryder Chapman to try and close the door against Madison. We'll be back right after this to see if he's able to do so, as you're watching live streaming coverage of the District 2 Little League Tournament with us right here on Video Productions, presented by Boone Memorial Hospital and HD Media.
started as a vision to bring quality health care to the coal fields of southern West Virginia has grown to become so much more. With a 5-star patient experience rating 2 years running, our family of local employees, medical staff, leaders, and governing board are working hard to deliver compassionate care, respect for others, and excellence in all that we undertake. We are now BOONE Memorial Health, and for you and your family, we are bringing medicine home.
At Tiger's Ice Cream and Grill, we have a huge menu offering home-cooked dinners, hamburgers, tacos, hot dogs, pizza, Philly steaks, and desserts, including, of course, ice cream. Ask about our weekly home-cooked dinners. We have an everyday hot dog special, 6 hot dogs for $5.99, or $5 14-inch large grab-and-go pizzas made from our fresh homemade dough. So visit Tiger's Ice Cream and Grill, located beside the old IGA in Chapmanville, just off the Crawley Creek exit of 1.
Welcome back, everybody. Chris Kidd here with you as Ryder Chapman on the bump now after Knuckles pulled after 5 1/3 innings. First pitch popped up out towards short, and the catch is made by Shrewsbury. And now Mullens 1 out away after retiring Woodrum from moving on to the finals of the losers bracket tomorrow and a date with Chapmanville. That's Carter Linville, possibly the last hope here for Madison. Linville's walked and popped out to the pitcher. His 2 plate appearances. Again, Madison jumped out 2-0 in this game. But Mullens just kept chipping away. 1 run in the second, 1 run in the third, 1 run in the fourth. Madison answering back with a run in the fifth to tie the game at 3, but the 3 runs in the bottom of the fifth now for Mullens proving to be the difference. Chapman now 2-1 the count to Linville. Swung on and hit towards short. Shrewsbury charges on it, throws over to first to Van Dunk, and that'll do it. The Mullens All-Stars continue their incredible run in this District 2 tournament as they have eliminated the Madison All-Stars 6-3, and now they are 1 win away from moving on to the state tournament in Martinsburg later this month and joining Logan out of this district. So it'll be down to Chapmanville and Mullens tomorrow at approximately 6 p.m. here from Tracy Vickers Little League Field. And the man you just saw on the mound to finish this game for Mullens will likely be the man on the mound tomorrow for them to try and get them to that state title appearance. But it's been a great game here today, and thankfully we were able to avoid the weather and get this game in. But everyone, please be careful getting home with the weather all around us right now. And please join us tomorrow at 6 o'clock for Chapmanville versus Mullens in the final game of our District 2 11 and 12-year-old Little League Tournament. So for Robbie Mounts and Butch Mounts, I'm Chris Kidd, along with Devin Collins, our cameraman, saying so long tonight from Tracy Vickers Little League Field. You've been watching live streaming coverage of District 2 Little League Baseball presented by BOONE Memorial Hospital and powered by HD Media.